here real quick, live. See, it already said something went wrong. What in the world? If there's anybody out there in YouTube land, let me know if you can see me. Everybody, I kept waiting on people to join my last live stream, and they said that they were never notified that it went live, which I have no idea why. Let's see if anybody gets notified this time. If you see this live stream, can you comment or anything and let me know if you can see it? People said that they couldn't, that they didn't know that I was live streaming, that it didn't tell my subscribers, which is disconcerting. And one person commented on the live stream after the fact that they didn't get told, neither did their friend. And then other people have messaged me and said, "Hey, it didn't tell me that you were live streaming." So let's give people a minute and see if they can see it this time. See if I just want to know. I don't really have anything else to say. I just want to know if it's letting people know that I'm live streaming or not. Because if not, that kind of stinks. Can you see me? Is it notifying you that I'm going live this time? Is it just let me know if it notified you that I was going live, if it didn't, or you just stumbled on it or whatever. Kind of want to know why it didn't notify anybody last time on my scheduled live stream. I have to give YouTube the what for. Hey, who's in here with me? Say hello. I don't know. See, it's not letting me. There, let me see. Who's in here with me? Say hello. I'm just trying to see. I'm not doing the giveaway right now. I'm just trying to see if it's actually notifying you guys when I go live, because I now I heard it from too many people that it did not. Yay! So did it notify you this time, Pineapple J? Did it tell you that I was going live this time? Because that's no, it still didn't. I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, or what. I mean, I'm like, I don't normally do live, so I don't know why it wouldn't. There's only so many settings to click, so I don't know why it wouldn't notify anybody. That makes me sad. No wonder I sat there for so long and only had a few people. Nobody knows it was happening unless they saw my page with link. So anything, since some of you missed me last time, we just talked about how we're doing the 500 subscriber giveaway. All you have to do is comment on something and tag me in it, and or comment on one of my videos, tag me in it, and put the word giveaway. You're entered to win. It's just going to be some kind of cool swag, like some either a print of one of my paintings that I've done, a Disney painting, or like a special edition Blu-ray copy of one of the movies that I made. Let's see, I got some of those right here. I got a bunch of different ones. Probably do a couple of different ones for some of the winners. There's one that's actually got the same concept as an HHN house. Aha, here it is. It's Dark Roads. It's basically the same as the Darkest Deal House for HHN, if anybody is a Halloween Horror Nights fan. And yeah, so I'm just gonna pull some people at random out of those comments and out of some of the live streams, and we're gonna do a little celebration giveaway for reaching 500 subscribers. And I just have 500 more to go to become a full-fledged YouTube partner, and actually, get paid more on this. It's not why I started doing it, but it does help when you're doing all these trips to cover all this footage. This is another painting, pop art painting I did behind me. Those are like all real magazine pages from Look and Magazine and Playboy and different things. And then I did Marilyn and JFK on it. But we're probably going to do a print of one of my Disney paintings that I've done. So we'll do something like that and some of the movies. It'll be a small giveaway. We'll be at HHN during fall break, September 15th. Oh, and thank you, Susan. Yep, 500 was a good big first milestone. Oh, I'm just gonna miss you at HHN. I am going to HHN September 6th through 10th. So, and that, despite the fact that I make horror movies and have for like 15 years, is going to be the first time that I ever have gotten to go to HHN, because mainly I was either shooting a movie or my son is an all-star football player, and it always happens during football season. But this year, now with the channel, and we made it a point to, or I made it a point to book it to get down there during his bye week, and that just happens to be on September 9th. So I'm going 6th through 10th, and I'm covering HHN every way possible. Do I have any prints of Baby Yoda? Let's see. What do I have? I have something. Can't remember if I finished the Yoda one or not. But let's see. Prints are actually pretty expensive to have made. I shockingly found that out. If you want them high quality, that is. Unless you're a big time artist and you can buy in bulk, and then they're really cheap. But I don't need to buy like $2,000 worth at a time, because I'm never going to sell that many. I do have somewhere. I can't remember if I did Baby Yoda. Where is he at? I did Baby Yoda and at some point, and I did The Mandalorian. Ooh, that's really bright. Nobody needs that much light on me. Let's see. Here is this print of Walt, like a cartoon drawn together. Now when we get to 1,000, I'm gonna give away an actual painting, which, prints are one thing, but an actual painting is, those take me a while, and I usually sell them for a good bit. This one's supposed to be like a neon sign of Snow White and the Evil Queen. Here's one in progress that I'm working on. Hey, HDTV or HDTView, hello. This one's actually one that is in progress. It's a haunted mansion, you can see. Let's see here. Where are you at? Somewhere I have a Grogu, Baby Yoda, and a Mandalorian, and I don't know where. But that could be one that I could do as a print and send out as some swag. He's somewhere. I actually did that one. Most of the ones I do are in acrylics. That one was done in oil painting. There's also a Mickey that I did That one's kind of impressionistic style. And I'll probably do, like I said, one of the actual paintings when I reach 1,000, because I usually sell those for, depending on the size, a couple of hundred to $500 a piece. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate it. Painting is like, besides working out at the gym, painting is probably the thing that relaxes me the absolute most. And I get a kick out of the fact that anyone would want to buy them ever. I just think that's super cool. Like it makes me very proud that somebody would want to own something that I did like that. That's the same way I felt about movies that I made and movies that I wrote. It's like it's so cool that somebody wants to enjoy or own something that you created. It's just a really cool feeling. I got so much stuff everywhere because like all of my editing and painting and uh, stuff is just kind of like all here together. Now, like, oh, while I have some of you here, do I still teach history, or is YouTube full time now? YouTube, well, it's become full time. Like I didn't intend for it to be full time, but I guess to answer your question fully is no, I don't teach anymore. I only taught for a couple of years. I taught and I coached football, and because I played football in college, and it kind of took the fun out of everything. So I went into filmmaking, and I've been doing that for like, oh, well, since 2000 and well, since 2000. I started in 2008, but full time since 2010. But COVID kind of put the brakes on that, and it's very hard to raise money for independent films anymore. So I do YouTube. I am a travel agent, and I actually, and this one's the most boring of them all. I mean, I get residuals from movies that I made, but the most boring thing of all is I write legal contracts for a plumbing company. So, like, because I'm a writer, like, I actually had, that's another thing I might give away. I actually had a, um, a script published. I got stuff everywhere. I was getting the swag bag together. I actually had a script published because it won a national competition. And for a hot second, it was a bestseller on Amazon in the screenplay category, not like bestseller for books, but in the screenplay category, which I trust me is not that lucrative, especially when Amazon and the publisher gets their money. So, I kind of do a lot of that, and but sort of like the base job is the writing the contracts. But I get to do that from home, and I get to do all the other stuff that I like. I would like to make one more movie. Um, I When I made the last movie I never intended it to be the last movie. So I if I would like to go into one knowing that it could be the last one that I make, and not like wishing that I could still do one more. So I'd like to do one more, but YouTube has become like when you're shooting all this content and you have to edit a couple of videos per week and get them out, because I don't hire other people to do it. I sit right here on these two screens, the same place that I edited our feature films, and I edit the videos after I shoot them. I don't script them. I do my research and I know what the topic's going to be, but I don't do scripted. So everything you hear me talk about in a video, that's just me. That's just me right there on the spot, talking about it, because I don't want it. I want it to be like I'm hanging out and talking to everyone about things that I like, not um, being overly polished. If I wanted to do that, I'd just make a movie. So it requires a lot of time, a lot of time. I mean, I'm essentially editing almost an hour and a half of footage per week. That's like editing a 90-minute movie. Well, you seem so natural in your videos. I appreciate. I should. I'm very like used to being on camera or behind a camera and working in that. So It's I can tell when people are not comfortable when I watch YouTube videos because I'm a big fan. I watch tons of vloggers. I watch most of that all the time, and I can tell the people who are they want to do this to have a channel, but they maybe shouldn't be doing it. They're not comfortable enough on camera, um, or they have a lot of work to do to get there. And not like I'm like saying I'm great and better than them. I'm just saying it's not just because you have a camera or you have a phone doesn't mean you're going to be good at it. Even if you love Disney, you love Universal, doesn't mean you're going to be good at it or that you're cut out to do it. Um, I'm so mad that I can't find that Grogu now. There's so I have to be careful. Like I can't tell what everybody can see in the background. I don't want anybody to see anything. Like I keep noticing that. Like there is a Daphne pop art painting I did back there that's on magazine pages, and I'm a huge Scooby Doo fan. But that was actually a commission that somebody paid me half up front, and then they never finished paying for. So now it's a part of my collection. Um, so I always have to hear it from my mom when she comes in. There's Daphne on the cover of Playboy on in there, but you know, it is what it is. Let's see. But I have a question for everyone who's in here, actually, that I asked the other group who were in here. What are your favorite type of videos to watch? Like whether they're mine or other people's? Because I've noticed a trend on mine is that people tend to really. You're laughing at the liquor. Oh, listen, hey, I actually don't drink that much, but I'm a firm believer that every gentleman should have a well stocked bar. So um, we'll take a better look at that in a minute. Um, I have noticed a trend that people seem to really like my resort review videos. Those are the highest reviewed videos on my channel, and highest viewed videos on my channel. So I'm just wondering that, and like when I do Chase's favorite things, those are really oh, well, another bar fan. Well, let's take another look here. Yeah, it's there. There's my Disney Day Drinker Club slider. But yeah, I mean, and you probably if you've seen my videos, you probably seen me talk about it. Like I love. God, I can't tell what I'm looking at. I like bourbon drinks, and I like spiked coffees and mixed drinks, like mudslides and spiked coffees, white Russians. I really love those. But I got to be in the mood for those. Otherwise, I'm going to drink a good draft beer or a bourbon drink of some sort. So I've got a couple different kind of bourbons. I got some James. What I can't drink very much at all is tequila. Tequila is Jose Cuervo is not a friend of mine. Let's just say that. It doesn't treat me very well. But yes, the bar. I'm glad the bar impressed people. Most people who know me come here like, why do you have Chase? Why do you have all that alcohol? You don't hardly drink anything. I usually am I am a event or a now like at HHN or if I'm at Epcot or whatever. Yeah, I'll drink something. But like just to sit around, I'll easily go a month in between without taking a drink of anything. Let's see. The dog's tumbler was actually favorite. Oh yeah, everything is so messy. Yeah, like this is actually my coffee cup in the morning. This is and it's still sitting here from this morning because I got my coffee and I immediately like get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, get my coffee, and I work on the video for like 2.5 hours, and then I wake up my son and daughter who actually go to school from home, and but they go to online campus and put them to work on their stuff, and then I hit cardio in the garage for like 45 minutes. come in, eat breakfast, make their breakfast, and then I go to the gym, and then I come home and I go back to work on the videos and any kind of contracts or anything I have to do for the day. So me and this fella uh, spend a lot of time together. Of course, the dogs, and it's almost football season for the dogs. It's already feels like football season to me because I've been coaching for a couple of months now, and we're already playing our second game this tomorrow. Yeah, my kids are homeschooled. Yes, I don't. Plus, fall break is so crowded. It's so crowded, like, and more expensive. Like the week that we're going, like, is one of the lowest crowd weeks that you're gonna get because even the northern states are back into school after Labor Day, and once they're back in school, now everybody's back in school. It was just Labor Day. Everybody's back in school. And so there's like that week there, those the week following Labor Day is one of the least traveled weeks in the year as far as vacations go. So like even though it was HHN, I think I got a room at Cabana Bay for well, two of the nights were only $126 a night. And you dare me to dance? Nobody needs to see that. Not ever. I listen. I'm a 6'3", 245 pound guy with size 15 feet. Dancing doesn't work for me. I mean, you know, a little there. Look at some chicken wing dancing. There you go. But yeah, that's why I don't go during fall or then, and I have to go. Oh, I have to. No, I don't. um, I also have. I'm at the mercy of when my son is. When my yeah, I'm not dancing, not even for a sub. I'm not that desperate. Um, I'm at the mercy of when my son has a bye week because he can't miss a game. He can't miss a game. Oh, have you stayed at Animal Kingdom, Pineapple J? Have you stayed at Animal Kingdom before? Um, it's okay. Thank you, Nick. Nick, how do you say your last name, Nick? Oh, you haven't stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge. Have you seen my video? That's shameless self promotion. Have you seen my two videos on Animal Kingdom Lodge? Those are from this year, and it's my first two times staying there, and it's awesome. And those were two of my favorite videos to do. I'm sure every vlogger has their favorite videos to do that they've done. Animal Kingdom Lodge videos, my Cabana Bay video, my Grandestino Tower, Boardwalk. Those are some of my favorites that I've done. Oh, Jamie. Okay, Pineapple J. Um, yeah, well, I'm glad you watched them. I'm glad it helped like make you man. There is so much cool stuff there. It is far away, but yeah, and yeah, Susan. Animal Kingdom is a lot of people's favorite apparently because it's two of my most watched videos. Um, I will say it being far away is the one knock because one night I really wanted to go back out and shoot more video, like another video, and I had like 4 hours before the park closed, three and a half. And I talked myself out of it because I was like, the buses, you have to wait on a bus, and then it's like a 20-minute ride to the park. And I was like, oh, so by the time I get in, I'm only going to have like 2.5 hours at most, 2 hours and 15 minutes. And I straight talked myself out of going back to the park and shooting a whole other content video because of how far it was away. So that's the one, to me, that's the one and only knock on it. It has gotten to where there's a lot better deals. It's more affordable for a deluxe resort here lately. Um, I really like Animal Kingdom Lodge. It's a lot of good food there. I mean, I had to do some extra exercising when I got back from there. Um, I recently did the Boardwalk Inn. That was the first time I had ever stayed there when I stayed and reviewed it, and it was amazing. Oh yeah, yeah. DVC points can make.
listen, I'm not supposed to say that because I'm a travel agent with keys to the castle travel, and we don't like DVC points, but they can give you good deals for sure. Uh, but it's sometimes not. Sometimes I can find better deals for people. It just depends. We have like I've learned that we have access to some stuff that you can't see just necessarily logging in. We get to see a little more. It's like they keep a little more in the bucket for Disney affiliated travel agents. So that was cool. Like when I got to go and do the Disney training for that, and that's how I got one of my Animal Kingdom stays. It was free for a couple of days, so they can't beat free 99. It's a great stay. Um, but it was really um, illuminating to hear them on the backside of that. And Boardwalk Inn, that jumped up close to the top of my list for favorite hotels. Just, that whole turn of the century vibe on it, that old like New England sea town, New York Hampton 1900s 1920s, and then uh, the location of it. I mean, my goodness, you can walk into Epcot in like 3 minutes, and then the Skyliner's right there, so you can take it over to Riviera, eat at Topolino's, or go to Hollywood Studios. I mean, it's like right there. That I really enjoyed the Boardwalk Inn, but the rooms themselves weren't as nice as I was thinking they were going to be. I had just come off staying at Grand Destino Tower, and it's a moderate, and that's my favorite video I ever did was Grand Destino Tower. It's the one I worked the hardest on, and it was like an hour and 20 minutes long, and it's like my least viewed resort video. We decided to buy our DVC points at the pool bar at Animal Kingdom Lodge. Well, yeah, there's been lots of decisions made at bars. Uh, uh, Jamie, I've heard Boardwalk's cool. I did stay at Grand Floridian with friends over the summer, but I did not have to pay. That is the best way to stay at the Grand Floridian. I always make the joke that I feel like there people are like looking down on me like I'm not good enough when I go in the Grand Floridian, like I'm not fancy enough. And like I don't like I've literally walked Hollywood red carpets before, and I've had movie premieres of my own like at Grauman's Chinese Theater in California at a film festival, and I still feel like I'm not good enough to walk in Grand Floridian sometimes. Like like they're looking down at me like, "What's he doing here?" I don't know. Martha, why is that man here? What's he doing with that camera? Like, I don't. I feel like I'm being judged. But it is beautiful, and I got to on the travel agent training tour. I got to tour their new rooms, and they were really cool. Very subtle, awesome Mary Poppins theming. Right? Yeah, you feel that way. Like, am I not fancy enough? Like, I'm putting together a video. Did I go to film school? I actually did not go to film school at all. Well, I went to the University of Georgia, and I mean, obviously, and that's where I play football. They don't have a film school. But I did study film there. My undergrad, though, I have dual undergrad in history and English. And I did all of my electives were either in every one that I could get were either in classic studies like Greece, ancient Greece and Rome, or film. Anything I could do in film. And when I got out, I went directly and taught and coached football, but I was writing, and I figured out that the only way I was ever going to have a chance to make a movie was to raise the money and do it myself. So I basically just taught myself everything to how to do it, which sounds harder than it is. I actually would not recommend anyone go to film school. I recommend you just go out and start trying to make films. That's because like my first film got into a few film festivals. That got me investors. They got interested, even if it's. I mean, and my first few movies were made for under like $40,000. So, but they made back way more than that, and that's the easiest way to do it. Film school, it's not. They don't care about it. He didn't get into Georgia. He's going to Kennesaw State and try to transfer. It's hard to get into Georgia now. I mean, it is straight up hard to get into the University of Georgia. I mean, they've got like 20,000 more applicants than they have space to let in students. So that right there makes it harder. Like the average SAT now is like over 1,400 out of a 1,600. I'm like, wait, what? Um, but I mean, I played football, so it like, and I was older when I went back to the University of Georgia. I had scholarships out of high school. Um, like everybody with a stamp in 11th grade, but 12th grade I hurt my knee, and this was in 1998 when I graduated. So then I had to go small school route and hurt it again, and became a personal trainer for a while, and then went back to the University of Georgia, and they still had tape on me, so they offered me to come in as a preferred walk on, and I was like 24 years old, so it was a little easier for me to get in that way. Um, I mean, you know, I had high SAT score, but it wasn't as competitive in 2004 as it is now. Yeah, it's easier. I mean, not that's like not a knock on him, but Alabama and Auburn, they don't have. I mean, Georgia's a big populous state. People love the University of Georgia, and then you have I don't know. They still have the Hope Scholarship going. I'm not even sure. That makes it harder in state. But Kennesaw State is pretty cool. Like my son just did. He's 12. He just did a football camp. He was invited to a football camp over there where they're trying to recruit at 12 years old. Uh, Kennesaw State. So it was cool. We got to be over on the field, work with their head coaches and stuff. Yeah. Okay. So they do still have the hope. Well, see, that makes it harder too because if they've got that great, if kids have that good grade point average, the hope and stuff will pay for in-state college. So, or at least a lot of it. I didn't have that. I did not have it. So, um, I'm still paying for some of that. But it's transferring into Georgia is the best way because if you can go somewhere else for a semester or two and get an A average and stuff and transfer in and those credits transfer, you'll be in. You'll be in. Um, so I think I asked anybody who's in here what kind of vlog videos are your favorites to watch? Besides, everybody seems to like resort hotel reviews, and on my last live thing, I had a bunch of people tell me like that my resort reviews were like the best they watch out of most people. So I'm interested in what is your favorite types to watch. I had some people comment that they like when I do my favorite things, the merch search. um, I'm always seeking out resort and like place specific merchandise. And I like with my favorite things videos. It's easy to say, "Well, I like Guardians of the Galaxy," or "I like Rise of the Resistance," but I try to do things that people normally pass by and don't pay attention to. That are super cool details to me that make Disney and the theme parks what they are. It's like everybody knows Guardians is awesome, but do you know about that beer stein back there that's handmade and has a piece of the Berlin Wall on it? That kind of thing is cool to me. And finding resort specific merchandise I'm always on the hunt for is fun. I don't know why I like that so much. What's new at the park? Yeah, seasonal stuff. Yeah, that's probably the other things that do really well is like when I do the festivals and the parties and stuff like that. Uh, those always do really well. Which I mean, that makes sense. I watch those too before I go, so I can understand wanting to watch those. My favorite, you like my favorite things video? I used the beer stein one on my husband. I'm glad you like that one, Susan. That's actually happened right here. My my beer stein from there, from that place in Germany at Epcot, with my little piece of the Berlin Wall. And I'm old enough to have watched it fall, the Berlin Wall on the news. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Um, so I mean, I think stuff like that is super cool.
Have any of you actually been into that store and seen that um, Stein in person? Or that, because they only have a few of them left. I think they only made, they're numbered on the bottom. They only made like 2,000 and something. So I don't know how many more they have. Um, but it's really cool. I don't know why. Like, I'm not of German descent at all. I'm of Scandinavian, like Viking, and I did the ancestry thing because I'm a history teacher. So I'm of Scandinavian and English descent. So I don't know, but I always feel like I don't know. The German stuff is always cool to me. Maybe because Arnold Schwarzenegger was like, I was always such a big fan of his growing up. If my husband would go with me, I'd get him one. He won't go to. He doesn't like to go to Disney. What? No, no, no. Although I mean, I'm always thinking people like. That's the one thing I'm self conscious of. And I'm not shy at all about anything. You do certain things in movies, you're not shy anymore. Um, and I'm not self conscious, but I don't want people to think like, because I'm a big guy, like what is that guy here doing at Disney by himself? What's he doing? Because it's not like I love paging Mr. Morrow. I love Nate. Nate doesn't look threatening in any way. Just looks like this lovable, little guy. And I'm always thinking like I won't do character dining solo, or at least I haven't yet, because I'm always afraid like people are gonna think that I'm some sort of weirdo. Well, hey, if he he pays for it. But oh man, that just I don't know. Like, I mean, but then again, my family calls me Clark Griswold, from the vacation movies. So I've always loved Disney, and stuff has always been my happy place. Always has been. And Walt is a hero of mine. So um, I'm an '80s kid. So like my heroes consist of like Schwarzenegger and Stallone for various reasons, and Walt Disney and stuff like that. Paging Mr. Morrow is awesome. Paging Nate, he just makes me he makes me smile. He puts me in a good mood when I watch him. He really does. I would love to just hang out with him one day. I don't care about him needing to give me a shout out on a video or stuff, and he does that for so many of his friends. Like, he has so many friends that are showing up on his videos now. Hey, hey, hardcore deathcore 13, you're new here. Welcome. Um, welcome on in. Your husband, Susan, your husband's straight up the grumpiest person until you get him to Disney. Well, I have been described sometime as cantankerous myself. I can be grouchy, so I get it. Um, Cantankerous is actually used pretty often, but honestly, here's something that would surprise you about me. Unless I'm on camera, unless I'm doing something where I have to be up and out and talking, I'm quiet. I don't talk very much. I sit quiet. I read. I listen to books. I edit. I watch stuff on TV. I don't talk very much. I'm an extroverted introvert. I'll have all this energy to go out and do all these things, and then I need a while to like go away from everybody. So I get it. But hey, at least he when you get him to Disney, he's not grumpy anymore. Um, Getting back to Mr. Morrow, I've just noticed lately that, man, a lot of his friends are on his videos a lot, and he does the best he can to like push their channels for them. I think that's so awesome. Hey, I appreciate that, hardcore. I appreciate it. I'm the same way. I try to support people. Like, I don't even have that bigger reach, but I just did a drinking around the world video at Epcot, and I got a cool drinking around the world shirt at Christmas that was ordered for me from the Lost Bros, and it like a concert shirt, drinking around the world. And then I bought some around the world. All right, bye bye. Appreciate you coming in. I bought a cool passport to keep up with my drinking around the world from Studio 1955 on Etsy. I don't know them at all. Um, and I gave them shout outs through the whole video, even though my reach is not that big, because I feel like everybody should support each other and hang out. And I see Nate bends over backwards supporting his people. I saw, his friend right down Main Street. She had like 1,200 subscribers, and her account had been around for a couple years. She started showing up on his videos. He started saying it. She's like at 15,000 subscribers a couple months later. So Nate is really awesome. Yeah, they all hang out. I've seen them all together a few times at HHN, Busch Gardens, Howl-O-Scream. Yeah, they do. They hang out. They hang out a lot. So he does a lot for them. He's taken off, and he's trying to get them at least where they get paid off of YouTube, and he's pretty much got them all there. Whether their content is equal to his or not is not relevant to him. They're just his friends, and I think that's really cool. Uh, Howl-O-Scream and Busch Gardens. I have never been to Busch Gardens. Is like their Halloween thing? Is it cool? Have any of you been to it? Um, I've considered, because I have to go back. I told the last group this when I was live. Like when I go down, if I'm there 3 or 4 days, I'm probably going to shoot about 12 videos for content. Well, I put out at least 2 videos a week, so that's only 6 weeks worth. Up until football season started, I was able to get down to Disney. I'm here near in Atlanta, so it takes me about 6 hours, 45 minutes to drive. I was able to go no longer than every 3 weeks. Like I didn't go longer than 3 weeks for most of the year, so getting content was no problem. Now that it's football season and I'm coaching my son, he plays at Buford here, not the high school yet, but that's like a famous football high school here. Um, it's harder to get down. So I'm going to have to go back. I'm going in September, and then I'm going to have to go back again in October. And I was considering doing Busch Gardens and their Halloween thing when I went back. I mean, it's not H8N cool, but it's cool. Um, you know, I wonder if it's worth doing if I go back. I'm going to do Six Flags Fright Fest here in Georgia, and I know they're getting IP houses for the first time ever. So that should be pretty cool. And they have Oktoberfest going on. They'll have it going on too. So I'm going to do that. I was just wondering if I have to go back in October. I was hoping to cover something besides like HHN again, or Mickey's Not So Scary again. I was hoping to get something else besides just that and generic theme park and resort reviews. Your son was coached by Fred McCreary. Oh, that's cool. McCary. Um, that's really cool. Um, I have one resort video that I'm working on right now. You go to Fright Fest. Yes, they're having IP houses. They announced Six Flags Over Georgia announced they're having Saw as an IP house, and there's rumors they're gonna have The Conjuring, and I forget the other one. It's another Warner Brothers thing. But yeah, they announced Saw. I'm not the biggest Saw fan. It's not typically the type of horror that I watch, but um, I mean, I think an IP house is cool for them to have. Six Flags needs something. They need something. Um, so that'll be fun to go do. So I'll do a video on that. I actually have a video of Six Flags coming up soon where I went to their summer bash. Just interested if people like it. Oh, oh, I'm glad he's listening. He's probably thinking, "What are you? Why are you just sitting there listening to this guy talk about Disney and stuff?" Um, he's like random talking about Disney, football, paintings, history, whatever. Well, I wasn't planning to go live again. I didn't really have anything planned out to say or talk about. But it's fun. I love talking Disney with anybody at any time, or theme parks, or in general. Like this year was the first time I had been back to Universal studios in like a decade. Um, and now I have the Premiere Pass, and of course I go all the time. Um, but I used to go a lot as a kid, and all the way up till I was like 20, in my late 20s, and then I just didn't go for a while. So I'm happy to be back at going to Universal, and so excited to do HHN. Super excited to do that. So it's I'm at that point now where I'm only like I'm less than 2 weeks. I'm like 12 days away from the trip. So that's when you get it's like so close yet so far. And now, like when I before I started doing the channel, I would in a big year we would go to Disney maybe 3 times. Um, now, um, now I go all the time. So when like you would think you would get tired of it, but it's honestly the opposite. Now that I go so much, and I got used to going about every 3 weeks for most of this year, and now that I've had to go this like 7 week stretch by the time I get there without going, um, yeah, it seems way too long. Like I need to go get my fix in. It's like the more you go, the more you want to go, which is I guess that's a good thing because I've seen some vloggers get burned out. The people that start out really strong and then they like lose interest. Me, it's like going the opposite way. The more I do it, the more I want to do it. I think of a million new things to do all the time, and it just makes me feel good when I'm there. So I like going as much as possible. HHN is about the theme houses, so like even the rooms smells like the movie sets. That's why I love it. Not just about the scares. Yeah, see me, I'm the same way. The details, the immersion, the immersive factor, and the quality, the production value. That's what it's all about to me. You had to wait from May to August, and it was like right now. It is awful. It is awful. Like I got back in like July 19th or something like that from my last trip. So it's already been 5 weeks and I got like 10 days more to go. Like that's entirely too long. Entirely too long. So I'll be picking another time in October for a complete solo trip for myself to go down. But it'll have to be like a where I only miss one football practice and not a game. So I'll have to leave like Wednesday morning at like 3 o'clock in the morning and drive down and then come home Friday night. So it'll be a quick trip. And I'll probably have to do that twice, and then I have a big family trip and filming trip planned for December. But it like when you get used to going a lot and it's your happy place and there's work you need to do there, it's hard. Susan liked to go on solo trips, so I don't have to wait too long. I live in Georgia too, not far. Yeah, you're 6.5 hours. You must not be too far. Like I'm in Gwinnett County. If Georgia people know where that's at, so I mean, it's a super easy drive. I tell, and people are like, "How come you don't fly? It's only an hour flight, but it takes an hour to get to the airport." Oh, you're in Cherokee. Yeah, I know exactly where you're at. You're a little north of me. You're north. Well, actually, you're northwest of me slightly. Um, but people are like, "How come you don't fly?" So we tried it, and by the time you have to be there an hour and a half before your flight, you got to park and ride at the airport. It's an hour to get to the airport and all that stuff. It ended up taking us 5 hours to get to, and then you pay way more. North Carolina, 9 hours. Yeah, that's a little bit longer drive, but still you can do it in a day. I mean, you can still do it in a day. It's not like you need to stay overnight somewhere. I mean, you think, okay, I'll leave at 5 a.m. and I'll be there by 2. It's still not too bad. I'm with you. I like maybe it's just the southerner in me or whatever. I like having my car. I like being able to go where I want when I want and have my car. Um, yeah. Yeah, what part of North Carolina? 9 hours away. just keep seeing Pineapple J, and then I see the little pineapple. It's funny. Ooh, my computer just came on. The harsh light of day. Let's see. Pineapple J. I like that name. I actually had some pineapple on a slice of pizza tonight, which I didn't ever even eat until like a year ago. It was my cheat night. It was okay. I was allowed. Winston-Salem, North Carolina. How about that? I mean, 9 hours, you do have to think about it a little bit more than 6 hours, 6.5 hours, 6 hours and 45 minutes. It is a little bit more intensive. But it's still, I mean, doable. Like I said, you leave 5 a.m. and you're there at 2-ish. It's not bad. Oh. My kids' friends call me Mama J. Hey, Pineapple J it is. Found a name you like, works with it. Mama J. Ooh, apparently nobody likes my Star Wars video. I'm a little worried because I'm going to go ahead and drop some breaking news. My Sunday morning video this week is going to be my deep dive AVA guide into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So the way I cover the resorts, I'm covering Galaxy's Edge that way. Like riding through the rides, covering everything, details, little tips and tricks. And I got invited to a Star Wars fan exhibition, and I saved that video and I just put it out like yesterday or 2 days ago. Nobody's watching it. Get up at 2:30 a.m. I actually do that from here. Like if I knew I could get into the resorts early enough, I would leave. I would definitely leave at like 3 a.m. But it's tough when you get there and you can't get into the resort and all your stuff's in the car and it's 100 degrees. Now, when it's cooler outside, I don't mind. I'll just leave my stuff in the car and I can go ahead and go to the parks. And I don't, I can go leave it with the concierge, but all that just, it takes too long. I love Star Wars, hence the Baby Yoda fan. Everybody's a Baby Yoda fan. I'll tell you this, with my video that's coming out Sunday, I got to spend some time caught up with the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda, Grogu. We're walking around Star Wars Galaxy's Edge that day, so that's some pretty cool video. Oh my gosh, my Go Live video is the picture for the Go Live is horrific, by the way. That video, the one with Baby Yoda, Susan, that's going to come out Sunday morning. I'm actually, and I can show you, I am actually editing that. Right, you guys are going to get a little sneak peek behind the curtain over here. Behind the curtain. I'm going to turn you around. Let's see. All right, look at this. So I am actually editing the Star Wars AVA guide to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge video right now, and I'll give you a little bit. Like, see, all these are clips and cuts. That's audio. That's video. That's me running my mouth. Oh, look, there he is. I don't know how well you can see him. Like, it's kind of hard.
I used to have to listen to all the old Star Wars videos with my son when he was little. VHS, LOL, telling my age. Hey, I mean, I was born January of 1980, so I'm an 80s kid, and I actually have a VCR still and VHS tapes right down there on the bottom shelf. So showing my age. But yeah, here's Baby Yoda right there. I know my chair is so squeaky. I need a new chair. So you get a little peek behind the curtain here. It's Eyes of the Resistance, the Millennium Falcon. That is me. Oh gosh, I didn't mean to start playing it. So that's the video that I'm working on editing. I'm going to get back to it here in just a few minutes, so that I'm not up all night. My son has a game tomorrow, but it's not until 6 p.m., so we can sleep in a little so I can stay up when it's quiet and work on the video. This is the little camera that I use to film all my videos with. It is very little, and the interesting thing about this little camera, it's a DJI Osmo Pocket camera. It shoots in 4K. When I started making movies 12, 15 years ago, 4K cameras were reserved for movie studios. And then a few years later, you could only get a 4K camera if you had around 100 grand. And then a few years later, you could rent one for about 8 or 10,000 with all the parts and pieces for a month. And then now, for $350, you can carry around a 4K camera in your pocket. That's how much things changed that fast. And yet, like you, I still have a VCR and VHS tapes. Oh, I can't wait to meet Mando and Baby. He talks too. That little animatronic Baby Yoda, he talks and sounds just like him. You know, and then the Mando guy sounds like him too. It's super cool. Super cool. But it's I hope that it does well with him just walking around, because I made my first trip out to Disneyland this year. First time I've been to California a bunch with movie stuff and everything, but I've never gone to Disneyland. And I went to Disneyland in January. Went out for the Georgia Bulldogs National Championship. I'll let you in on another secret there, Jamie. I am doing a combo Disney University of Georgia video as a little bit of a hype video going into the first game next week that I'm going to put on my channel. Because when we were at Disneyland in January, when we went to the national championship game, you've never, like, the way the Georgia Bulldog people took over Disneyland was absolutely amazing. I could not go 15 feet shooting my video without saying "Go Dogs, go Dogs, go Dogs" to someone. Somebody was saying it to me. So I'm going to put all that together and national championship footage into a video. So that'll be very cool. But Disneyland, they, you know, all their characters still just walk around, like, and interact with people, and people don't mob them because they're used to it. So I hope Disney World gets back to that. Disneyland is really super cool. Oh yes, Susan. Yeah, real quick. Yes, Baby Yoda talks. He makes all those noises, you know, that he does in the show, and he looks real. It is super cool. I had never been to Disneyland until January either. It is super laid back compared to Disney World. If you're a Disney World pro, Disneyland, once you figure out your way around, Disneyland is easy. My videos from out there did pretty well, but it's like you could tell, like, I have to go back, because I was thinking about the national championship, number one, when I was out there. Number two, the first time you go, if you're a Disney Worlder, I think you can't stop yourself from comparing everything to Disney World instead of just enjoying it. And I think that kind of takes away from it. There are things that are clearly better. It is so much, the lines are so much shorter. I mean, they think a 30-minute line is long. That's long to them. Genie Plus works super easy out there. You can do everything in both parks in a couple of days. You can do it all multiple times.
Um, so that part is really cool. I love the nostalgia factor that Walt was there. I love that you can walk. Like I stayed at the Disneyland Resort Hotel, and it was a short walk into the park, um, or at least where you get on the monorail. One thing I did not like, there is no signage anywhere. It's like when you're used to Disney World, like you're not in a bubble out there. I don't like that either. And you can't find like the monorail they consider a ride there. It picks you up at their downtown Disney and brings you in and drops you off in the park, like kind of in the back in Tomorrowland. And you have no idea where you are. It was like the first time I'd ever set foot in the park was getting off that monorail there. There are no signs. There are no like Tomorrowland is this way. There's nothing. Like you just have to find your own bearings. Now once you do, it's easy to navigate. But until you do, I was irritated for like the first 3 hours. Yeah, Genie Plus. Yeah, Susan, Genie Plus is awesome in Disneyland. It is awesome. Uh, if you watch my Disneyland videos, I think I talk about Genie Plus a little bit, but I do probably complain about the lack of signage a little bit because it's like it doesn't tell you that there's nothing like there's just nothing. There's and the signs outside when you're driving around because we rented a car and drove from the airport. Um, you're not in that bubble, so all that signage that tells you where everything is, forget about it. Not non-existent. But I did, and I love the fact that it was cool when we were out there. It was in January. Um, I love the parks when they're cool anyway, especially if I can wear shorts and a hoodie. That's my favorite way to visit the parks. Um, but I can't wait to go back. I have to go back so that not only so I can shoot more content out there because it's pretty popular because less people do it, but I want to go back to where I'm not comparing everything in my mind to Disney World because I would be like, well, that's not how it is at Disney World. I miss Disney World. I like Disney World. Now, as I was there longer, that went away a little bit. Pirates is my favorite ride, like old school nostalgia ride, and it is a light years better at Disneyland. When I was there, they still had the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay. And I have never even seen Nightmare Before Christmas all the way through, which is shocking. I've seen it in bits and pieces, so I feel like I've seen it a million times. But I've never sat and watched it all. But that overlay on the Haunted Mansion is one of the most awesome things I've seen. I wrote it multiple times and videoed it multiple times. It's in the videos because it is awesome. Indiana Jones, same ride system as Dinosaur, blows Dinosaur away. Yeah, when COVID hit, a lot of Cali YouTubers came to Disney World. Yes, they were. They overwhelmed. Like, whoa, it's a whole other ball game. If you can manage, well, welcome back, hardcore. If you can manage, if you're a Disney World pro, Disneyland is a breeze. You could be a Disneyland pro all you want to. That don't mean you're going to get around Disney World the same way, Chief. It's not gonna happen. Disney World, you better know. You better now. There's a lot more signage to tell you where to go, but there's just a lot more to know at Disney World. Period. Yes, I actually did a comparison. Susan, you're dead right. I did a comparison of the Pirates I did Pirates versus Pirates in one of my videos, and I compare them both through their ride throughs and the different pros and cons of each one. I missed the smell too. That was one of the things that I gave in advantage to Disney World. All right, bye bye, hardcore. Appreciate the support. Um, that was one of the things. The drawback is I can't remember all the pros and the cons. The videos on there. Um, Obviously, I it the one at Disneyland is 15 minutes and 35 seconds on average ride, where at Disney World it's just under 8 minutes. So you're talking about a ride at Disneyland and Pirates that is twice as long. 15 plus minutes, a long ride. There's way more scenes. Yeah, hardcore. hardcore in, hardcore out. That doesn't sound right, did it? But there's more scenes in the Disneyland Pirates, but they did not have the smell. The queue line is better at Disney World Pirates. You get 2 drops at Disneyland Pirates, and one of the drops is pretty significant. So yeah, I loved it. It was my favorite. I loved the Matterhorn. That was super cool. And they talk about how Disneyland has so many rides, and they have more rides than Disney World put together between their 2 parks. But Disneyland has like the same ride like 10 times. Like their dark rides, the old school dark rides in Fantasyland, is literally the same ride over and over again with just different scenery. It's either Snow White over here, or Pinocchio over here, or whatever. It's the same ride though. So it's like, yeah, same, but it's a lot of these are the same. I'm trying to think of what else I really liked out there. Their Space Mountain is cool. It's a lot smoother. Honestly, I think the more fair comparison is the Matterhorn to our Space Mountain. Oh, Paris, yeah. Well, I'd like to just go to Paris anyway. That's on my bucket list, and I'd love to go to Disneyland Paris. Like I said, I studied history, so I'm like Greece, Rome, Paris, England, and Germany, and Switzerland. I mean, I want to go to all those places. Shanghai Disney would be. If you ever watch videos on Shanghai Disney, they have some awesome stuff. Their Pirates of the Caribbean blow your mind. It's super cool. That's a long trip. You can go directly to hell with Mr. Toad. And they don't even beat around the bush about it. It's like you're drinking, driving, you have a wreck, and you go to hell. There's the devil. They make it 10 times hotter right there. In case you were confused, they actually make the area where you're in hell and go to see the devil, it's hotter than everywhere else in the ride. And then the ride's just over. There's no redemption. You just go to hell and then you get out of the ride. Which is interesting. It's interesting. You go to hell. You go to Disneyland, go directly to hell with Mr. Toad. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, I'm not the best flyer either. So if I was flying all the way to Shanghai, I would have some. I'm with you, Valium and some of that alcohol over there ought to do it. That ought to do it. That'd be the way. This is the way. This is the way. That would have to be the way. But it's that's a long flight. I mean, getting over to England or to Paris, that's no big deal. But Shanghai is a long way. A long way. And planes, it would cost me a fortune because if I was going to fly very much further than California, I would have to have first class because I am too big. I'm not like fat. I'm just too big to be comfort. I mean, I need to lose some weight because I eat all the time at the parks now. But I have to cram myself in seats, and then my knees stay bent the whole time, and I am uncomfortable. I could not imagine flying that far like that. No way, Jose. Nope, 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 nope. Oh my goodness! I guess I should probably get off here. I've held you ladies up for quite a while. I appreciate you coming back on. I am going to, if you have not done it, just as a formality, I'm going to, in case anybody sees this and they're like, God, what were they talking about all Friday night long? Good grief. If anybody sees this, just comment on one of my any video and tag me, and then put the word giveaway in whatever comment you make, so that you're officially play by the rules and entered into the contest over here. And if I don't have over like if I don't have very many more entries, everybody's going to win something. Now, if I start to get 25, 30 entries, then I mean, I can't send everything to everybody. But I'm going to try to send out, some stuff. So it should be fun. And I need to. Y'all didn't tell me I had this god awful thumbnail for this. Video. That is rough. All right. Well, I'm going to sign off with my normal way and change this god awful thumbnail. But until next time, this is Chase with American Vintage Adventures saying have a great AVA day, and I'll see you real soon. Bye bye. Squeaky chair.